All right, August 12th, workout breakdown, back day. The time we're recording this, it is August 2nd. I'm only bringing that up because I spoke today in class regarding the monthly emphasis of aerobic endurance, not muscular endurance. And I want to make it pretty clear, and I'll repeat it here, is like, I don't want people to think that we're just going to have these crazy amounts of like running and biking and rowing all the time. Because again, we're going to lean that direction. We're going to increase the volume. We're going to increase the amount of time you guys are spending on these pieces of equipment. But like my core is with resistance training. My philosophies lie with resistance training. In order for that to happen, I have to make sure you guys are getting programmed enough weight training and added load and external load. So at the end of the day, what I'm basically saying is like, I wouldn't be concerned about not lifting. Like if you are showing up pretty consistently 4, 5, 6 times a week, like you don't gotta be worried about it. Like, are we going to do longer rows and longer bike rides? Yes. Are we gonna spend a little bit more time on there? Yes. But at the end of the day, again, I do this, guys, like 6 days a week. Like I rely on our workouts to get the appropriate amount of weight training in order to not only maintain lean muscle, but also build it. So, I just want you to know, like, you don't gotta be concerned about it. Like, it might not be your favorite thing in the whole world, but I assure you, like, we need it. There's a value in it, and dragging it out is important, as I know a lot of us have kind of steered away from some of the more endurance-y stuff. And again, cardio is all about longevity of life, and muscular, the amount of lean muscle tissue on your body is like the quality of your life. Like, and I need people to try to view it that way. It's not exact science that way, but like that's one of the best things I've ever heard. Cardio, aerobic work, heart and lungs, length of life, or equates to length of life, and lean muscle tissue, strength, and again, muscle on your frame is quality of life, right? So, and you need both of them. It can't just be like one or the other. So, I bring that up because I also said on August 2nd, this morning, that there are going to be a couple of days where it is going to be very obvious that you guys are doing definitely longer stuff. So the 5,000 meter row is on the 14th. We've been increasing some of our rowing volume a little bit in the earlier stages of this month. And this is 2 days before. I think it's pretty fitting. One, because I think a lot of people are just not going to come to the 5,000 meter row. There's a lot of variables here that I have to take in consideration. I think a lot of people are just going to skip the 5,000 meter row. And for those of you that maybe want like a play test leading into the 5,000 meter row, like that's what I would want from a training perspective. I had to find a way to give that to you so you can kind of like play out how your split time's going to go, how you're going to feel, maybe what's too aggressive, what's not too aggressive, a stroke rate, maybe what you like to hear, feel, or hold. So that's today, the 12th. You have a 1,600 meter row, 8-minute cap. So if you can't finish 1,600 meters in 8 minutes, no sweat. We're just going to stop you at 8 minutes. The goal here isn't for you to just like crush 1,600 meters just to finish under 8 minutes. Like, that is not why I wrote this. Like, I wanted you guys to play test this, literally have no fear of not finishing. Like, I care less if you finish, but really walk away from this kind of getting an understanding of maybe what a 50 or 60% feels, how far can you get holding a split time of maybe 60% output, maybe start correlating some of those outputs to thresholds and split times. But ultimately, because you're going to do it 3 times. So you're going to have a 1,600 meter row, 8-minute cap, 1,600 meter row, 8-minute cap, 1,600 meter row, 8-minute cap, which ultimately equates to 4,800 meters if you finish everything, right? So in terms of volume, very similar to the 5,000 meter row, but broken up. So it makes it significantly more plausible to do it than all together. But it should give you a really, really, really good idea as to like what split times and stroke rates you should be able to hold. Maybe what muscles fatigue before others. Maybe is it my forearms and my wrists? Do I have to relax my grip on the way forward? Does my back start to kind of get sore? Am I leaning forward? Am I slouching? Just a lot of stuff you'll be able to kind of work through and give yourself 48 hours until the actual 5,000 meter row. So that's the thought process on that. But like I said at the beginning of the video, you will still get your lifting in. So you have a 10-minute EMOM. Although you're only going to spend 20 minutes lifting, the amount of volume in which you can get in these 20 minutes is still plenty. Now, is it enough for you to necessarily make progress in terms of muscular growth? Not really. You could in this pull-up EMOM right here if you are really, really good at pull-ups. But ultimately, no. But like maintenance mode is a real thing, and we can't always be striving to grow in every aspect of fitness. So you got a 10-minute EMOM here of pull-ups. You're gonna choose one of these. Obviously, just 10 minutes of AMRAP, where you can just go and kind of hammer it if you want to. I wanted to leave that door open to give you guys the opportunity to kind of make up for the lack of time you're gonna spend lifting here, which again you can. And I've told a lot of you guys before in classes, like when I've been short on time, I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a gym or into my garage and I've literally just done 100 pull-ups, and that was my workout for the entire day. Like, that's it. Like, you do 100 pull-ups, so that's a fantastic workout. You don't always have to crush yourself every single day. So right here, although you may not get 100 pull-ups in 10 minutes, a lot of you guys will get 50 to 80 pull-ups, which is awesome considering you still have the 3 rows and you still have this block. So for anybody that thinks they're lacking in terms of the lifting, I assure you, you're not. You can also do every minute or every 30 seconds, kind of give you that opportunity. If you've never tried that before, it's pretty fun. It's a good way to break down 10-minute EMOM of pull-ups. But yeah, those are your options there. And then the second block is the low row. So it wasn't expecting you guys to move a ton of weight here. Obviously, with all the rowing, you're going to be pretty pre-exhausted and fatigued. Kind of brought the volume of sets down to 4. So everybody's going to do 4. Increase, the set count or the rep count within the sets. And the slight pause there isn't like anything new. That's really just me trying to get you guys to emphasize on controlling the weight. It doesn't need to be like a full 2 count. It's really just not like slingshotting the weight back and forth, which is what a lot of people fall into in terms of habit. These larger rep counts, and then we start compensating, and the right muscles aren't doing the work. So that's not really the goal. Now, I do have you guys tracking this at max. I do think you're gonna, your weights are gonna take a little bit of a hit, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to know kind of what like the next step of weight is for you guys. Meaning like our 8 to 12 rep count range when we're fully focused on muscle growth or hypertrophy is X weight, and then when, it's nice to have a mental note of like, hey, when I drop this down to more of an endurance approach, what does that weight look like? So I think that's why I want you guys to try to pay attention to that. And then the clean to shoulder, again, a lot of back work, full body work. I always love putting one of these Olympic lifts in there as kind of like, I don't want to call it a filler, but they're so fantastic, and the list of value is so long that practicing these constantly is just not a bad thing at all. And then again, you got your third 1600 meter row. So I hope that kind of sums up and explains, what not just this month is all about, but kind of the emphasis and the importance of programming play tests before baselines, or it doesn't always have to be a baseline, but something else that we're going to do that's fairly polarizing, like the 5000 meter row.